Somehow my share screen has stopped. Oh dear.
Yeah, this is definitely eating into your 9 minutes, Julie.
Sorry, here we go. So, it's the most wonderful time to be in HR. And when I came up with this theme, I actually thought of that song that we hear every Christmas. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Some of you are singing it in your head already. I know it, and that's great. Now, because I can't see you, can't see what you're doing, how you're reacting or anything like that, I'm gonna ask you to please put in the comments when you like what I'm saying. Give me a $sign, give me a thumbs up, give me something that shows that you appreciate what I'm saying. So my name is Julie Turney. As Chris rightly said, I'm gonna take you through some of the stages of grief, if not all of them, but then I'm gonna pull you back out and make you smile and make you recognize that it's the most wonderful time to be in HR. So here we go. As Chris rightly said, we are living through some very volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous times. When you look at everything that's happening in the world today, we really, truly are dealing with some very perilous times. And I thought it would be interesting to just take a look at 3 of the things that really have caused us as HR professionals to feel a bit depressed or a lot depressed, but then take a step back and recognize that there is some hope for us and for the profession and people in the world today. So you know these 3, Brexit. And this was something that was on the cards for a very long time. Britain has separated from the European Union. This has caused some very serious effects to employers and employees in Europe and throughout the rest of the world pretty much, because this is going to impact a lot of ways that the UK deals with the rest of the world and transacts business. And then for 3 months, we were shut right down by COVID-19. This pandemic has affected millions of people all over the world, and we've lost hundreds of thousands of people as a result of this terrible pandemic. We are all feeling the effects of that. And then something even more terrible happened, which forced us to have to look at how we deal with diversity, equality, and inclusion in the workplace. And so these 3 particular things have really impacted us globally as human beings, but also as employees, as employers, as human resource professionals. What are we going to do? What are we seeing as a result of these effects of these 3 particular situations that we are encountering right now? These events that are causing us so much pain, damage, and hurt. As a result of it, we're seeing companies downsizing because they just cannot keep everything afloat. And if they can't keep everything afloat at all, then they're shutting down their businesses. And as a result of that, we are seeing unemployment at a grand scale like we've never seen it before. Well, how is this affecting HR professionals? Some of you all, if you're HR professionals, know these words: furloughs, redundancies, terminations. And these are things that are not just happening to employees in the workplace, they're happening to us also as HR professionals. We are all feeling the effects of these events from an employment space. Thank you, I hope those are $signs. What is the mindset of HR right now as a result of what is happening? We're feeling so much hurt, so much pain, so much loss. It's causing us to feel depression. We're feeling burnout. We're feeling anxiety. Our employees are feeling it. Our leadership is feeling it. We as HR professionals are feeling it. We're saying goodbye to jobs that we love if we've lost our jobs. We're saying goodbye to employees that we've built relationships with. We are saying goodbye to businesses that we've been in for many years and loved working there. And this is really, really painful for us. But my talk is, it is the most wonderful time to be in HR. So why am I bantering on about all the stuff that's causing us great sadness and pain? There is a flip side. I told you I was going to take you through those stages of grief and bring you back up. For us, how many of you sat down at home and recognized that you can rise above this? While there is grand scale unemployment, employment is still happening. Jobs are still open. They may not be exactly what we're looking for, but this is a time for us to reinvent ourselves and reinvent the wheel as HR professionals. How many of us have had the opportunity now to focus on family? I bet there are things about your kids, your spouses, your partners that you didn't recognize before that are coming to the fore. Tell me if I'm right about that. Do you agree? You're looking at your health and your wealth and your life and the whole outcome of what has happened in a global perspective. You're taking a more holistic approach to it. And you're looking at this from the perspective to say to yourself, do I really need to be under such stress? Do I really need to feel all of this pain? Do I really need to do this? No. What can I do better? And you're also reevaluating your self-worth. What is this really meaning for you, to you? How can you do better? How can you improve? Are these things that you really need to tolerate, don't need to tolerate? Well, then what can you do differently? And ultimately, we've gained a sense of community. When you look on the news and you see all of these communities coming together, I remember seeing in Italy, they had sticks and they were out on their verandas or patios and they were with glasses of wine on sticks, singing songs. We've seen it happening all over the world. We're learning a new sense of community. And from an HR perspective, let me tell you, I am seeing a new sense of community that I've never seen before. So many people in my HR space where I may have had to travel to go and meet them, now connecting with them in a new way, learning what they're thinking, feeling about their positions, what they're doing in their organizations differently. And so really and truthfully, is this the worst time to be in HR? Definitely not. When you look at your role, we recognize that working from home can work. So is this something that we're going to continue? Hopefully it is. When we look at the future of work and what that means on a grand scale, we can now be at the forefront of helping our leadership to develop the new frontier of what work looks like. We can unify teams even though we're not in the same space, sitting face to face. We're seeing now teams getting more coordinated. How many of you are looking at home on Zoom videos, and while you may be zoomed out, you're seeing some of your colleagues with their babies in their hands, walking them to sleep. You're seeing dogs passing by. I see cats walking on some of my colleagues' keyboards. All of these are things about our team members that we never saw before and are unifying us in a different way, because now we recognize we're all humans. We're not robots. We're all trying to achieve the same thing, and we're going to do it the best way that we can. We now, as HR professionals, can direct the future of work in a completely different way. We now have the opportunity to pivot, to really streamline processes in an agile way and create processes that are not painful to our employees or our organizations. We are also seeing performance accelerating. So a lot of times we would have seen performance dip in our organizations. Now some organizations, we're seeing performance on the rise, on the increase. And our voices become more meaningful to the leadership team. They're recognizing our impact and our importance and what we bring to the table. And this is a great time to reinvent your role and show your worth to your leadership team. I saved this picture for last because it really shows what I'm trying to help you understand, that this really is the most wonderful time to be in HR. The future of work is dynamic. It is changing at a faster rate now than it was before. So all the elevated projections we had for what the future of work would look like in 2035, probably coming to the fore right now. You as an HR professional are in a very, very, very privileged seat. You are in a very privileged space right now to change your scope, to change your organization, to change the way people think about our profession, how they feel about it, and how it functions. It's the most wonderful time to be in HR. I was gonna sing the song, but my voice isn't that great, but you know how it goes. It's the most wonderful time of the year. It's the most wonderful time to be in HR. You, my HR heroes, I know you can do everything possible